The blockbuster fixture of the weekend in the Premier League is, of course, the North London derby between Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. That is league leaders Tottenham Hotspur against an Arsenal team who are looking bereft of ideas and confidence under Mikel Arteta. Colin, these are two clubs going in opposite directions, and they are two sides with a lot of African interest, particularly with the Gunners. There is nowhere else for us to start but than with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is enjoying an absolutely miserable season. We've got to talk about this. What is going wrong? Come on, give us your expert opinion. What is going wrong for Aubameyang so far this season?
Everyone has an expert opinion, so I'm not sure how expert mine is. But look, yeah, here's the thing. There was a time when we'd go into this fixture thinking it was a done deal for Arsenal. No matter what Spurs played, the worst Arsenal could do was get away with the result. And now, like you said, both clubs are going in opposite directions. Spurs are flying high, top of the league. Arsenal trending downwards. I think Roy Keane almost said that if Arsenal continue playing this, maybe they can avoid relegation. And it all comes down to Aubameyangs being unable to find the net. And, that is perhaps a symptom of the larger issue with Arsenal, which is they are unable to create any chances at all. Against Wolves, he had just one shot on target. And so it's kind of difficult because, first of all, he's in something of a tailspin of a rot. Secondly, he's not getting enough chances created for him. And then you look at it and you think, look, Arsenal not creating any chances. Thomas Partey is not there. And you've got one of the best playmakers in the world not even sitting on the bench, ostracized from the club. And this is a team that is not creating anything. And you need someone creative to get in there and bring a spark for some of the likes of Aubameyang. And even, with all due respect, Pepe to find the back of the net.
So looking at the statistics, beginning of the season, you and I, particularly you, I remember, were very confident about Aubameyang, very confident about Arsenal's chances. Arteta had arrived. There was a sense of optimism around the place. Aubameyang scored against Liverpool in the Community Shield. He then scored against Fulham on the opening day of the season. Since then, he scored 1 goal in 9 games. You've criticised him for maybe his lack of work rate, the attitude, the movement, the fact he's been played out on the left, a broader malaise at Arsenal. But now you're saying it is simply down to creativity. It is down to the lack of a playmaker, the lack of a number 10 playing those balls through. That's your final answer?
I can see you've become very adept at putting words in my mouth. I'm not sure I said half the things you've attributed to me. But the point is, look, the fact that Aubameyang likes to sort of drift over to the left and then pinch in and take shots at goal is not a criticism. Thierry Henry did that to great devastating effect during his time at Arsenal, and we know Aubameyang more or less models his game after Thierry Henry, and he's done that and scored goals playing the same way. So that isn't. I think the issue is a general malaise about the Arsenal team. There just seems to be something missing, in that team, and that's why they can't seem to create anything. They're not creating opportunities, not creating big chances, and as a striker, he's not getting those chances, to put away. And once he does get, somehow they end up getting flopped. So yeah, and that's why I think that maybe going into this game, there needs to be some thought about creating some different options for the Spurs defense to look at. It's a bit like when you have a quarterback in American football and the defense just keeps giving him different looks. When you have a very good defense, it's going to be hard to get through them, and you just keep giving the quarterback different looks so he doesn't know which way to go.
I know you're very impressed with Partey's performances so far. Would you risk him? He's out with injury at the moment. Would you risk him in the North London derby?
Look, at the moment, there's little Arsenal can do. And I think that's going to be a medical assessment. If they think he's fully fit and ready to go on Sunday against Spurs, why not? Why the heck not? He needs to get in there. But, it's better to not play him and let him last the rest of the season than to get him in, and then he gets injured again and stays out for longer, because at the end of the day, the North London derby is not going to determine, where Arsenal finish at the table. But the game down the line will. So there's no point in rushing him. Let him stay if he's not ready to come in.
I think Mohamed El-Neni, whether or not Partey plays, I think Mohamed El-Neni could be a key man in the North London derby. Mourinho has really fixed that Tottenham midfield. Højbjerg has been a great addition. Ndombele is playing the kind of level that Spurs fans expected of him. And unless Arsenal are competitive in that central zone, unless they can disrupt that Ndombele-Højbjerg axis, I really think it could be a long afternoon for the Gunners. But let's finally talk a little bit about Serge Aurier, because he has been widely criticised since arriving at Tottenham Hotspur for a certain negligence in defence, you might say. But we are starting to see a different side of Aurier in these last few weeks. Under Mourinho, he was excellent against Manchester City, exceptional against Chelsea, two great defensive displays. How impressed are you with his turnaround under the Portuguese coach?
Oh, very, very impressed. Look, there was a time when you look at Serge Aurier and think, oh, calamity Serge. But, you know, right now, he's playing the best football of his life. And that's why I think that, you know, Arsenal have to think again, you know, going back to the quarterback analogy, I think Arsenal have to think about giving him a different look. You know, you see Willian is sort of aging, and we know what he can bring to the table. And I can be very confident that Serge Aurier will look at him and think, yeah, I can have him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know we snacked in between. So I'm thinking, you know what, put someone like Rice Nelson there. He's young, he's quick, he's fresh, you know, and he's a bit more unpredictable than Willian. And that gives Aurier something different to think about. And then you put Bukayo Saka down on that left-hand side. And again, you look at him, he's young, he's fresh, you know, he's raring to go. And you think that between those two, they can give those wide players at Spurs a bit of a problem. And just talking about Ndombele, I mean, just the same thing with Serge Aurier. Just a few months ago, we were talking about Ndombele as, you know, in terms of a flop. And all of a sudden, you're struggling to see how Arsenal are going to deal with him. You know, we saw him excel exceptionally well against City, and he's been doing that all season. So every which way you look at this man-for-man battle, position for position, you've got to look at these two teams and think Arsenal don't have a chance. But hey, it's Arsenal. It's not London derby. Form sometimes goes out the window. Is that going to happen this time?
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.